Fast forward, any come over to so I say AGH Politics Avenue. Political story set training because make headlines na jembre need be Akroma need them young braxim monia but say young queen simon. Your queen simon Solomon Oaks nene butimi ekotran a pan African television. Na otimi esusuja edi egu eye MPP ama yekono enya asim koto akra. Na ketase share proye ene kankanya papa ibb so ewo MPP ama yekono onu enya asim koto akra. Na protect sa omoko protect ye no otuni din say we protest enyasem koto akra odi we protest in Tampe protest in Tampe enyasem koto akra papa no etimi etutu bi ede mane eye MPP amayeko na me ni okase de party ni de watena apansam no kra with the holder of his position odi egu abonten ka kumejin kwa kwanu yensemre imunram na yenhwe ne ko ani de ba AGH Politics Avenue.
Then we have the campaign living in America, O.Atta, writing letters to the people of Ghana. When was the last time you heard anything about O.Atta? Tell me. He single-handedly took this country to go and borrow more than $30 billion. Come and answer, he says he's sick. The last release from their side came from the wife. That the husband was... I underwent a successful operation, and that at the appropriate time, hey, you are telling us when your husband will come. Only yesterday or so, Fourth Estate. Look at what Samia Uku did with our money. And interestingly, he was leading this demonstration. He was there granting interviews, running them off. So if I tell you it's a selfish demonstration, people just want to box this administration, gaslight them so that they will not be able to go after them. You must understand it. Now they went to circle, and I agree with the tester. It was an Tampe demonstration. They went and convinced the young men, the trotro mates, that they want to help them so that they can legalize weed. So if you listen to the boys that were on the demonstration, all that they were talking about is weed, red. To the extent that they were showing us how to smoke. Openly they were smoking. You know, smoking in your homes in the public is an offense. So I was expecting the police to round all the leaders up by now. They claim the police has been intimidating them. At this demonstration, were they not protected by the same police? More than 200. Now, Sana, ever since this administration came to power, have they recruited any police personnel? Is it not the same police personnel headed by the former president, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, that is still in place? In fact, the current IGP was the deputy IGP who has been promoted. So the very institution that you built so beautifully, enhanced their skill, gave them all the resources, the techniques in dealing with citizens, the same strategy they are using today. So how can anybody, particularly those coming from the MPP that left power only 9 months ago, be complaining about the very institution that they led for 8 years? No sincerity in it. They are only throwing dust into the eyes of the people. But let me remind the NPP once again that as we speak, the party has 87 seats in parliament, or parliamentarians. The party is now going into an election to go and elect a flag bearer, and which has turned into something else. Every day, what we are seeing is that this camp is telling us the sins of this candidate. The each candidate is telling us the sins of the other candidate. Now I understand they have created a very huge problem in the house of Addo that he was womanizing. Can you imagine? These people, they are very wicked though. Really? Created a serious problem between the wife.
Wow.
Can you imagine that a political party wants to elect a leader to come and lead this country, and all the messages that they are giving to us is how bad each of the candidates were? Yesterday, I heard some banter between Brian and the former chief executive of Cocoa Board. Why they do. He says something, and EOCO must be picking some of these things. So how well did you manage the Cocoa Board? You come there. I said, hey, how are you going to go there?
He actually says, look at what
you did. Sana, I'm happy you listened to this tape. This is the new patriotic party. This is a party that Mujib is forcibly convincing me this morning, having taken all factors into consideration, in a clear mind, sound mind, living to prepare for a buoyant and vibrant political party that will take over from their irresponsible behavior in opposition. He says I should come back, but I'll welcome him back to our party. I'll welcome him to my party. Because they are not going anywhere. This is the party we are talking about. This is a party whose members sat down for Akuffo to go and dig a big hole with $97 million. Remember, President Mahama went to Japan and he was given $100 million. It has not come yet by beggars to come and invest in our agriculture. We had almost the same amount in this country, and we had a president who invested it into a hole. That's the party we are dealing with. Go to National Service Scholarship Secretariat. The guy over there messed up the place. Total mess. This is what we are discussing with. We are discussing with you a government that gave mobilization of almost $30 million to an Indian company to be constructed Tamale Walwal Road. The money is finished. No mobilization on site, and I add to you the Pualugu Dam, $12 million, which we cannot see, no work done. So if such a party is on the street going on in demonstration, why would anybody take them serious? We have been told by the very party's staff at the headquarters that they have not been paid ever since they left power. Senna, demonstrations don't come cheap, if anybody tells you that. Because in this instance, I realize they will buy weed, they will buy red, they will buy a petition, they will give them money. You heard the Kaya girls. One of the girls was so mad. Said, you people came to convince us early morning that you are trying to get a place for us to be plying our trade. We have been walking since we don't know where we are going. Some of them, you ask them to, they say we should follow them. So where did they get the money? And this money, couldn't they have channeled it into rebuilding their party? Couldn't they have done so? It tells you that those that are leading the party today, they care less about. They know they have collapsed the party. What they are doing is to occupy front rows to win positions in the party. Then they can be going around to businessmen to be soliciting for funds for their personal gains. God, now you can't make money in government. That is what has happened. And you see, if they continue to dabble in this, I dare say they would collapse before the timeline that we believe they will collapse. It's not a pleasant situation. They went to the police headquarters, and the arrogant posture they put up there, even there they were insulting the IGP. Handing over your petition to, you were insulting. I was very happy with what Honorable Secretary told them at the Jubilee House. That now you have been able to come closer. You are standing at the Jubilee House and handing over your petition. Things have happened in this country. The very thing that they are complaining of. You remember Bulldog spoke about the president. He found himself behind bars. Bobi Ansa spoke about Rebecca and Samira. The next moment he was behind bars. Oheneba Benye got himself entangled. Things have happened. But this business of MPP thinking that this country belongs to them, they must move away from them immediately. They have to go out of that business. Because we don't have that forgetfulness. That syndrome is not there, it's gone. That the internet does not forget. Internet does not forget. They have to take their time, go back to the drawing board. Any political party, when you go into an election and lose, what you do is you restructure, you rebuild from the base. Now they are doing roof down. So top-down approach. And that is what is affecting them. And with this, I can't help you in that direction. I want to admonish all Ghanaians that it's not all lost. You are the reason we are coming. If we are going to leave this country, for you to continuously base your hopes on this MPP, you have a lot of problems. You will come and occupy the and offer constructive opposition, constructive criticism to this administration, and make sure that whatever promise they gave to the people of this country, they achieve it. Either than that, how would the MPP be able to put this or question this administration on corruption? How would they be able to do that? When their members of parliament go and sit on the floor protesting against arrest of people that are perceived to be corrupt, to be criminals, to be thieves, and they are protesting against it. How would they go back to the people of this country and complain about that? How would this administration be able to complain about inflation when you took inflation of this country to 54% under the regime? How would the MPP be able to complain about that? They have lost it. How would they be able to explain to the people of this country that we went for a facility of $750 million to finish in Sawam, Amasaman, in Sawam to Apega, Konongo, to Ajoso, Swame Interchange, Kwabenya Ring Road, money is finished, road not completed. How would they go back and be able to explain? How would they be able to do that? How would they account for the $13.5 billion they went to borrow from the international market that we do not know what they use the money for? How are they going to convince the people of this country that 52 billion Ghana cedis was moved from the Ghana Commercial Bank into a certain unknown account that we cannot account for it? So now what about the SML? So there are a lot of issues that people must know shame and then shut up so that we deal with ourselves. But going on the street to go and flex muscles, to go and warn IGP when you are being protected by the police itself, to go to the seat of government that you are being intimidated, it doesn't gel, it doesn't sit well with any well-meaning Ghanaian. That this is not the direction any serious party. They must revisit. There are archives there. How was J.H. Mensah and his people, in spite of the fact that in 1996 the MPP had 65 to 67 seats in parliament, how were they able to convince the people of this country that indeed they were a credible opposition party, that the Ghanaian gave them the mandate in 2000? It took a lot of strategy, a lot of thinking. Unfortunately, when you look at the frontliners of the party and even people who are speaking, it seems to me that they have pushed all the strategic thinkers in the party out of it, leaving functional illiterates. The last I was telling you, I could count more than 8 functional regional charm illiterates in the party. And Mujib, you know this. Why are you hoping against hope? That you can turn anything around. A party that is telling you that Mujib is going to be their next national chairman, alongside Buga, alongside Nanabi. Are you ready? Mujib is going to be your national chairman. Buga the second vice. Salam Mustafa the organizer. There's another guy they call it what? Atik or something. Youth organizer. Women organizer. Jennifer Queen. This is your lineup. So now there is nothing to write you about. Let me end it here before BPs go up and down.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. A few comments from those of you who are listening to us and watching us live on Facebook. First, Facebook. We should, and I lend my support to Movement for Change to organize big demonstration against President John Dramani Mahama for treating MPP members with kids' gloves. There is Yusuf Mohammed who says a good morning from us. Vision in Tamale Cent. Right? Ever since the MPP lost power, they have never acted normal again. since when did the arrest of perpetrators become harassment? What you see now is just a tip of the iceberg. If NDC government had considered our voice, by now a lot of you would have been serving jail. One last appeal to our government is to consider the review of the office of the OSP and to activate and strengthen the foundation on which our great party was formed. That's the only way to build our confidence in our party, meaning the NDC.
And so that is where I will start. It's very true that demonstrations, assembling, are enshrined in our constitution. Article 21D is so clear on it that people have the right to assemble, to demonstrate, which right nobody must make any attempt to take from anybody. It's part of the pillars of demonstration. But you see, demonstration must be based on something reasonable. It must be based on something that is truthful. It must be based on something that is obvious to everyone. In the last elections, Senator, more than 4 million people voted for the MPP. Is that not the case? Now, so if we are going to take them as being members of the MPP, and you just oppose it to the numbers that are involved, according to the MPP, of having been arrested, then clearly nobody had any business being on the street. Because to my mind, it is only Daniel Adumako, aka Obama Pokwase, Prince Ofori, aka Fanti Comedy, Yara Abiwu, and Emmanuel Kwachi, as well as Abronye, who are non-MPP people who have been, as it were, arrested by the police. If you take the case of, say, Obama, the police said he had brandished some guns here and there, and they were doing investigation to bust a syndicate. Therefore, the police arrested him. You take the Fanti Comedy and the Yaya Abiu, it had to do with a threat to the president's life. Nobody on the altar of politics can threaten any ordinary Ghanaian, let alone the president of the land. So they were arrested, rightfully so. In the case of Abronye, he went after the Inspector General of Police. In fact, they asked for the insult. It's not criminal. You can insult. However, the police believed that there were certain aspects that bordered on the security of the state. Thankfully, the matter is in court. That is where legalities are drilled. And then whoever is wrong or found wrong on the side of the law, then faces the music. So if you take these 4 or 5 cases that I've enumerated to you, which one is so weighty? Which one can lead any serious organization into that conclusion that they must go on the street? Then it tells me that no, the main reason for being on the street was not these 4, but rather the criminals in there who are stolen, that they have realized that now pressure, because in the coming months we are going to mount pressure on this administration to go after them. Nobody in there must delude himself that Ora will die just. No, you can't scam the people. So they are sensing it. They are sensing what is ahead. Because as it were, those that have been arrested, aside the 4 that I've enumerated, you can talk of Wuntumi, who went to Exim Bank to take monies belonging to you and I, went for a road project, didn't do it, destroyed our environment. What has been the key topic in this country in recent days? Is it not Galamsey? Wood to me was the reason why LI 2462 was introduced. Because he had entered the forest of this country. He had been fingered by the Minerals Commission that he was doing an illegality. In order to legalize that position, the then president, Akuffo, said, I will introduce LI 2462. Now he's being investigated. The MPP is not happy. We have Hanan, who did business with the wife. The day we went to Tamale, you and I together with Mr. Pratt and Alaji, the very moment I entered the airport, the first thing someone there told me that Hana has been building all over the place. He comes to this place, he didn't have anything. I can go you and show you the houses. It is a common knowledge in Tamale. Who else? Osonoba. Give to a worry. National Service Authority. 548 million. Every day they are discovering new thievery. White man amongst us, what's the name? Mustafa Hamid. The Ghana's Bruni, NPA. In millions we are told. Professor Meya Kumfi and Asamoah, Sky Train, we want to, look at the traffic in this country. You look at the traffic in this country. $2 million, shrimp, is gone. They are facing prosecution. Kwabla Dubuahi, National Signals Bureau. We have been told by
we ain't some other team course watching on so Mama so Jemre or Harrison so bad, a day, I don't be a dominion, essential, yes, more constant.